Srimad Bhagvatam Pramanam Prema Promoarthama Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matadam Tatra Adhare. So it says in if you want to worship somebody, then Krishna is the one in Vrindavan. And how do you want? Taddam Vrindavana Ramya Kachito Upasana. Ramya is the Sakhi, the gopis. Ramya Kachito Upasana. Brajavadu Vargena Vakalpata. So this is the highest worship of Krishna, is whatever the gopi did. So we have to do it like that. So it's a beautiful, beautiful song. Nanda Prabhu is also Narvapu Prabhu. He Brajavardhana, complete Vrindavan, complete Krishna, complete holy name of Krishna. So it's so much, so nice. So, as you all know, we have 3 programs every week. One is Friday, we do chanting here 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Then on Saturday, we do this Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's so nice to hear Srimad Bhagavatam in association with the devotees. When you collectively hear it, it has so much benefit, so much. You can relish it very, very nicely. So that's why we come here together to hear it, And then Sunday we also do a gathering which is called Sunday Feast Program, Love Feast Program. Every Sunday we have it, and we do Bhagavad Gita study. So we do Srimad Bhagavatam study and we do Bhagavad Gita study, both simultaneously every week. So it is very, very nice for all of us to learn, this Bhagavad Gita. Very, very nice to learn Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the ABC, Bhagavad Gita is, Prabhupada says, the ABCD of the spiritual knowledge. And Srimad Bhagavatam is a postgraduate study of the spiritual knowledge. And then when you graduate from that postgraduate study, when you're done, then you can enter into Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is the pastimes of whose pastimes? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that is a PhD on spiritual knowledge. Let's keep this in mind. And although we are grahastha and we have so many duties around us, we have like duties towards if you are married, you're towards your wife. If you're not married, if you are towards your parents, towards some of the family members, sister, brother, and everything. But the Srimad Bhagavatam says that Sthane stita sutikatam tanu mamanamir. You stay in the same place. Don't change your position in one ashram. You stay in the same. And then you try to do hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam. Sthane stita. Same platform. You stay. Sthane stita sutikatam. And then you hear. Tanu man. So with your body, with your ears, with your mind, you hear. So that's what we have to do. And we are also in that platform. But you come here, you come here, you come here, you come here, you hear, here. Now there should be one step further, right? That we should do progress in our life. Because otherwise, I just come here and wash myself and go home, wash myself and go home. But then you need to progress a little bit, one step further. that, we have to move. This is called, ISKCON is also called Krishna conscious movement, means we have to moving. Yeah, keep on moving. So we have to progress, we have to do progress. And so how can we do progress like this? So that we acquire this knowledge what you hear and you can practically apply in your life little bit at a time. That like we are hearing Srimad, this transcendental knowledge from Prahlad Maharaj right now, right? So we try to put it into our life too, that how Prahlad Maharaj is progress, telling us how he has done it. So we can similarly do it. And there is no doubt that Prabhupada says that this, whatever we are doing, whatever the service we are giving, whatever the hearing is part of a devotional service anyway, right? Nothing can check. Ahaituki apratihata in Srimad Bhagavatam it says. It says ahaituki means without any motivation, without any ulterior motives. Ahaituki, no hetu, no purpose. And apratihata, that there is nobody can check, nobody can stop once you start this. That's the reason. So all these things go away gradually. You start. So it says that, Lord Krishna, realization of Lord Krishna, that happens three things at the same time. How there is a Srimad Bhagavatam sloka about it too. That you do the devotional service and you see Krishna, realize Krishna, and you leave everything else going, renounce everything else. That thing happens at the same time. Everything happens at the same time. You don't have to do a separate efforts to do that. That you continue with this, keep on going further. Because sometimes we worry that, okay, what will my wife say, or she'll hold me, this, that, A couple of people told me that. So I want to do it, but I think my wife is going the other way. I said, don't worry about your wife. You come here. You get this knowledge from us, from Srila Prabhupada and you read this Srimad Bhagavatam. Everything will fall into the place. See, Narvapa Prabhu came yesterday to chant, right? Yeah, he came to chant. It just place into, fall into the place. He said, today I'm going to chant, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter what the purpose was.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Krishna brings. Krishna says, you go sit down on that thing and chant, that's it. Doesn't matter. So that's why we have to do that too. So anyway, today also we'll read Prahlad Maharaj, what he has to say, that we're reading right now, that how he's praying to Nrsimhadev, and he's saying that I don't want anything from you, Lord. I don't want any boon, especially I don't want any material boon, And then he's going further into it, that what is he telling, what is he desiring, So similarly we desire the same thing, and like what he desires, we desire, That is that's thing that you go, the desire, because what his desire is, he's a pure devotee of Krishna. So if we desire what he desires, then that is Krishna's desire. That's what Krishna wants us to do. And so that's why I think that's the main reason we read this Srimad Bhagavatam, so that we hear and then we apply. Maybe not right away, but little bit at a time we can apply in our life. So here he is speaking very, very nicely in these two slokas. If we can cover today, that's my goal. That if we can cover two, that would be a really nice thing. So I think that I have been given this new equipment to use, and hopefully it's going to work. Since I may not need the glasses then.
It's very fancy.
High tech.
He said that you should use that.
New equipment.
No, but I would still use my glasses. I don't want to make mistakes. So we go and read, I think it's going to be text number 6. So currently you all know, right, that we are Snan Yatra is also coming up, I think, which is going to be on June the 21st. Snan Yatra. What is it all about? Just can you describe exactly? Because this is my first time.
Jagannath Snan, look like Janmashtami. After
But Snan means bathing, right?
yeah.
And then you celebrate that.
After रथ मतलब रथ यात्रा का 15 दिन पहले
हाँ.
जगन्नाथ का स्नान यात्रा होता है, फिर भगवान बीमार पड़ जाता है, 15 दिन बीमार लीला होता है.
Okay.
See,
So, during the Snan Yatra, do they bring the Jagannath out or just it's a bathing ceremony?
बेदिन से
Okay.
तो हम लोग सिर्फ फुलवार से करेंगे पानी.
Pushpa. So you hear it, Jagannath Rath Yatra, before it begins, 15 days before, they do this Nahlanika, ceremony, Snan, means bathing ceremony. Because you all know, right? When Jagannath comes out in a big cart, chariot on the road. Yeah. So that's a big celebration in Jagannath Puri. Lord Jagannath is nobody else but Lord Krishna himself. So he comes out. So we are also celebrating this Snan Yatra or the bathing ceremony because we are also trying the same thing that we can all the time we do this festival, all the time we do festival. So we remember it, It comes to our consciousness all the time. Oh Lord Jagannath, oh Lord Nrsimhadev, oh Lord. And one day, when we leave this body, hopefully we remember, because Krishna has promised all of us that if you remember me at the time of death, you will come to me. And Arjun, you don't have to come back to this material world. Antakale Chamaneva, Smaram Yuktva Kalevam, Ya Prayati Samat Bhavam, Yati Na Asti Sansaraya. There is no doubt, Arjun, that you come to me. If you remember me at the last time. Yam Yam Vapi Smaran Bhave, Tejanti Ante Kalevaram, Tam Tam Eva Iti Konteya Sada Tad Bhav Bhavita. That if you remember something else at the time of death, then you will be that, So if you have a mentality of a dog at the time of living because you're so much attached, then you will get a body of a dog. And what's the example of that? Very crude example. Bharat Maharaj. Such a big, great devotee, And at the end, he remembered deer. And he became deer. Such a great example. So similarly, we are also, that's why we want to, make our conscious. And we don't know that when we're going to die. Because we have one of incident yesterday. My wife's best friend, she's 67-year-old. All of a sudden, kidney failure. Went to the hospital, they gave an injection. She's no more. I simply could not believe today when we were talking that she's no more. I talk to her very often, and 2 weeks ago we talked to her, but she's no more, What happened to everything, all the possessions, everything, her husband, everything gone, She left. She's no more. So similarly, we will be no more someday. That's the truth, right? We know that. Anybody who is here is going to go. And we have to accept it. That does not mean it's a negative part, thinking that way. But we better be prepared that if I'm no more tomorrow, or if I'm no more next minute or something, So at that time, this whole knowledge can become very handy, that you can chant Hare Krishna at the last moment too, And if you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna take care of you. What is a very crude example of that? If you chant Hare Krishna at the last minute, you will go on, right? Last minute. What? Who is? Huh? Ajam.
Oh.
That's very good. He chanted last minute, and then he was saved. So we know this. These are historical events which happen, and it's noted in the scripture, and it is repeated by our acharyas. They tell us this has happened. We were not there, but sometimes we were not there so many times, right? And our parents says this, before you born there was such and such thing, and we say, yeah, my parents says that, so we was there. So similarly, here also, so we are not living negative life. Well, we know the facts, that you have to die, and we know for sure that you can die anytime, and we know for sure that you're not going to take all this possession with you. And we know for sure that, this spiritual knowledge, if you have it, the spiritual asset, if you have it, that will be helpful to you after you take this body, after you leave this body. That we know for sure. That's why I think we should have firm faith, firm conviction, and that's why I'm saying that don't stand, just stay there, just move a little bit further. Move a little bit further. That's important. So here, Prahlad Maharaj, which is Bhagvatam, Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 7, chapter number 10, and text number 6, right now we are in that, right? So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Aham tva akam tvad bhaktas.
Aham
Tvam cha swami anam upashrayah.
Tvam cha swami anapashrayaha.
Nanye hetu havayor artho.
Nanyate havayo arto.
Rajaseva kayor iva.
Rajaseva kayoriva.
Aham tva akamasya tvad bhaktas.
Aham tvakshamastvara bhaktas.
Tvam cha swamina upashrayah.
Tvam cha swami anaprashayaha.
Nanyate havayor artho.
Nanyate havayo arto.
Rajaseva kayor iva.
Rajaseva kayoriva.
One more time. Aham tvam kamasvam tvad bhaktas.
Aham tvakshamastvara bhaktas.
Tvam cha swami anaupashrayah.
Tvam cha swami anaprashayaha.
Nanya etova artoyor.
Nanyate havayo arto.
Rajaseva koyariva.
Rajaseva kayoriva.
That's very nice. Word by word translation by Srila Prabhupada. Aham. As far as I am concerned.
As far as I am concerned,
Do. Indeed. Akamaha.
Akamaha,
Without material desire.
without material desire.
Tvad bhaktaha.
Tvat
Fully detached to you.
fully attached to you,
Without motivation.
without motivation.
Twamcha.
Twamcha,
Your lordship also.
your lordship also.
Swami.
Swami,
The real master.
the real master.
Anapasrayaha.
Anaprashayaha,
Without motivation.
without motivation.
You do not become the master with motivation.
You do not become the master with motivation.
No,
Not.
not. Anyatha.
Anyatha,
Without being in such a relationship
without being in such a relationship
as master and servant.
as master and servant.
Iha.
Iha,
Here.
here.
Avayo.
Avayo,
Our.
our.
Artha.
Artaha,
Any motivation.
any motivation.
The Lord is the pure master.
The Lord is the pure master,
and Prahlad Maharaj is the pure devotee,
and Prahlad Maharaj is the pure devotee,
with no
with no
materialistic motivation.
materialistic motivation.
Raja,
Raja,
of a king,
of a king,
Sevakayaha,
Sevakayaho,
and the servitor,
and the servitor,
Eva,
Eva, like.
just as a king expects
Just as the king exacts
taxes for the benefit of the servant,
taxes for the benefit of the servant,
or the citizens pay taxes for the benefit of the king.
or the citizens pay taxes for the benefit of the king.
Thank you. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Ki
Jai.
O my Lord, I am your unmotivated servant, and you are my eternal master. There is no need of our being anything other than master and servant. You are naturally my master, and I am naturally your servant. We have no other relationship. So, purport by Srila Prabhupada. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, Jivera Swarupe Hai Krishnera Nitya Das. Every living being is eternally a servant of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, verse 29, Bhaktya Bhoktaham Yakya Tapsam Sarva Loka Maheswaram. I am the proprietor of all the planets and I am the supreme enjoyer. This is the natural position of the Lord. And the natural position of the living being is to surrender unto Him. Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mama Ekam Saranam Praja. If this relationship continues, then real happiness exists eternally between the master and the servant. Unfortunately, when this eternal relationship is disturbed, the living entity wants to become separately happy and thinks that the master is his order supplier. In this way, there cannot be happiness, nor should be master cater to the desire of the servant. If he does, he is not a real master. The real master commands, you must do this, and the real servant immediately obeys the order. Unless this relationship between the Supreme Lord and the subordinate living entity is established, there can be no real happiness. The living entity is Ashraya, always subordinate, and the Supreme Personality of God is a Visaya, the supreme objective. The goal of life, that's a Visaya, that's an objective. Unfortunately, persons trapped in this material world do not know this. Nate vidu swarth gati Vishnu, illusioned by the material nature. Everyone in this material world is unaware that the only aim of life is to approach Lord Vishnu. That's the only reason we have this human birth, to approach Him, Lord Vishnu. Aradhanam sarvesam Vishnu aradhana param tasmat partaram devi samarchanam. In the Padma Puran, Lord Shiva explained to his wife Parvati, the goddess of Durga, that the highest goal of life is to satisfy Lord Vishnu. This is Lord Shiva speaking. Who can be satisfied only when his servant is satisfied. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore teaches us Gopi Bharatrur Pada Kamalayor Das Dasam Das. Because Lord Shiva tells Parvati that Tasmat Partaram Devi Tadiyanam Samarjanam. That means that you have to serve. The Lord can only be satisfied if you satisfy the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. Prahlad Maharaj also prayed to Lord Nrsimhadev that he might be engaged as the servant of the Lord's servant. This is the prescribed method of devotional service. As soon as a devotee wants the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be his order supplier, the Lord immediately refuses to become the master of such a motivated devotee. So we can come here and we tell him, Lord Krishna, you become my master, you become my master. But in the behind the scene, you say, give me all these, the material thing, then he would reject you as his servant. He said, I'm not going to be interested in you. I reward him accordingly. Here in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tateva bhajamyaham. According to however much and how you serve Krishna, he go forward to you accordingly. You know, I reward him accordingly. Materialistic persons are generally inclined to material profit. As long as one continues in such an adulterated position, he does not receive the benefit of returning home back to body. So that is the obstacle for us. Om Agyanata Virantasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chiksuranandritena Yena Tasmai Sri Guru Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupanga Sagrajatam Sadakana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savdutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanitamascha He Krishna Karma Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneswari Tushavana Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Panchakalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prayampadate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Gaura Krishna Namah Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jai Advaita Gadadhara Srivastava Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
So Prahlad Maharaj says, and Prabhupada translates, O my Lord, I am your unmotivated servant, and you are my eternal master. There is no need of your being anything other than master and servant. You are naturally my master, I am naturally your servant. We have no other relationship. We are so accustomed to service, right? Our position is like that. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying this. That Jivera Swarupena Nitya Krishna Das. Because our eternal quality is to serve. Our eternal quality. That's why we are serving, because we have this quality, right? And we have come into this material world. And that's why we are serving. We serve our wife. We serve our parents. We serve our son, daughter. We serve. They tell something, we say, okay, I do it. We say, Dad, I need the fees for my school. You say, okay, you don't worry, I'll make it. That's a service. To your son you are giving. Your wife says you have to go shopping. You say, okay, let me go get my paycheck. This time I'm going to work even harder. No, not over here. I'm going to take 2 overtime this month so that she can shop for me. That's service, right? Wife we give the service to our wife. You know. Similarly, we give, you see a lot of people walking with a, dog, right, all the time. And what do they have in their hand? Leaf. Right? That's so also, but they also have that if the dog poops, then they clean up. Isn't it a service?
Lotus.
Huh?
Lotus poop.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's why you work so hard to keep the dog and serve. Because our quality is serve. Our quality is to serve.
To keep dog happy.
To
keep dog happy.
No, everybody happy. Like our wife happy. Because we think that if I serve, I'll be happy. If I serve my dog like this, then dog will be happy. If I serve my wife, she'll be happy. Because I'm hankering after happiness. But this happiness is inside you. But you are trying to serve others and get happiness. So we have to here Prahlad Maharaj is saying that naturally I'm a servant, naturally. And you are a natural master. There is nothing here to say. So in this also it says, so we have in ISKCON tradition, how Vaishnava tradition, been taught that the devotional service, the bhakti, means you give service. You give the service to your devotees. You give service to the higher, your spiritual master. You give service. Finally, you get the benefit of that service by giving the service to all the devotees, your spiritual master, everybody. The highest benefit, is that you've been rewarded because this service finally reaches to Krishna. You see what you are giving, because you are not serving somebody here working or Srila Prabhupada because you think they are great. No, you are serving because they are also engaged in the service of Krishna. That's the mood you have. I am serving them because they are engaged in the service of Krishna. And the one who engaged in the service of Krishna is the highest, and that's why. And Krishna does not accept directly the service from you. And that's why you have to go through your spiritual master, go through Srila Prabhupada, go through Acharya. It's just like I always give example, that you cannot see the president directly. It's very hard, right? Sometime maybe, just like Jagannath come out on the road and we can see him, right? That's different, from the far. If you try to go near, then they throw you away. They say, get out of here. But if you know somebody, right, then the bodyguard will say, no, sir, I know him. Just let him come. He will come. Yes. Similarly, these devotees of Krishna and then spiritual masters, these acharyas, they are like that, very compassionate, and they say, okay, they recommend to us that I brought this guy and he needs help. So Krishna says, okay, I'll take care of him. So this guy. So Prahlad Maharaj also recognizing this, and he's praying and he's telling Nrsimhadev that I'm the servant and you are the master, right? So Prabhupada gives us this example of how Lord Shiva is telling in Padma Purana to Parvati, Durga Mata, that the highest form, the highest service is Lord Vishnu. That's why the sloka is quoted. Nate vidu swat gati mi Vishnu. That is by Prahlad Maharaj himself. Earlier we studied, in chapter 6. Nate vidu swat gati mi Vishnu durasayahi bhairatmana. And so he said that because we are so much attached to these material things, we don't know that my highest good is to worship Vishnu. I don't know. This way. And in other scriptures it says that the highest thing you can do, the highest thing you can do is Ante Narayana Smriti. Just like Krishna says. Ante Narayana, Narayana, Lord Vishnu. So that's the highest thing we can do. And this is quoted in the Quran. And Krishna also guides us that, you just come to me, and I will reward accordingly. However, that's for sure, right? We have to accept that as much as you go, somebody will come forward, right? You come little bit. We also say, in this material world, when we have a fight with somebody, say, you come little bit, then I'll come. Then we'll make a truce, you see. So, we get, reward accordingly. So, we'll read text number 7 because it's also in relation to this, how Prahlad Maharaj is praying. So, let's read that. Text number 7. Yadi dasasya me kaman.
Yadi dasyasi me kaman.
Varam svam varadarsabam.
Varam stvam varadarsabha.
Kamanam hi inamroham.
Kamanam hridai samronam.
Bhavatastu vrunevaram.
Bhavastu vrinevaram.
Yadi dasasya me kaman.
Yadi dasyasi me kaman.
Varam sarvama varadasabha. Varastvam varadarsabha.
Varam stvam varadarsabha.
Kamanam asramoham.
Kamanam hridai asramronam.
Bhavastu vrunevaram.
Bhavatustu vrinevaram.
Yadi dasasya me kaman.
Yadi dasyasi me kaman.
Varam svam varadarsabha.
Varam stvam varadarsabha.
Kamanam hirdan soram.
Kamanam hridai asamroham.
Bhavastastu vrunevaram.
Bhavatastu vrinevaram.
So the word by word translation it says yadi.
Yadi,
If
if
dasyasi
dasyasi
want to give
me,
me
me,
kaman
come on,
anything desirable
anything desirable,
varam
Varan,
as your benediction.
as your benediction.
Tvam,
Tvam,
you, Varad Rishabh,
Varada Rishabha,
O Supreme Personality of Godhead,
O Supreme Personality of Godhead,
who can give any benediction,
who can give any benediction,
Kamanam,
Kamanam,
all desire for material happiness,
of all desires for material happiness,
Hridi,
to thee,
within the core of my heart,
within the core of my heart,
Asamroham,
Asamroham,
no growth,
no growth,
Bhavataha,
Bhavataha,
from you,
to,
to, then,
Vrine, I pray for
Varam,
Varam, son of Dikshri, son of
Translation by Srila Prabhupada, it says, O my Lord, best of the giver of the benediction, if you at all want to bestow a desirable benediction upon me, then I pray from your Lordship that within the core of my heart there be no material desires. Within the core, no material desires. So Prabhupada, this is the purpose. See, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us how to pray for benediction from the Lord. This is the Sistastakam, right? Sistastakam. And this is slope number 4th. 4th, yeah. Nadanam na janam. 4th. So it says, Nadanam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagadisa kamaye mama janmani janmani isvare bhavatad bhakti ahaituki. This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hasn't given so many scriptures, but these 8 slokas, verses, which is called Siksastakam. Astak means 8, Siksa means instruction. These 8 instructions he has given to us. And they are just enough for you to completely do this bhakti or devotional service to Krishna. And in that, this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying for himself. Can you imagine Krishna himself? Why? Because he is teaching us how to do bhakti or devotional service. Apani Achari Prabhuji ne sikhaya. He put into his practice. And then, so that's why this is what he is desiring, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he is teaching us how should we desire. He said, Na dhanam na janam na sundarim mama janmani janmani isvare bhavatad bhakti rahituki. Just matches with Prahlad Maharaj. No material desire in my heart. He says, Oh my Lord, I do not want from you any amount of wealth, nor many followers, because usually when you become a top level guy, then you say, so many people are following you? And you say, 10,000. Really? And then what about you? And you say, 15,000. Oh. Then you say, I need to work a little harder to match this guy. Right? That goes on. Once you become powerful like that, he knows, right, Prabhuji? More the disciple you have, more powerful you are. Is that right? Okay. So here it says, not many followers. I don't want any followers. Nor a beautiful wife. Nor these are all materialistic. For these all materialistic desire. But if I have to ask you for any benediction, I pray that in whatever the form life I may take any birth under any circumstances, I will not be bereft of your transcendental devotional service. Mama Janmani Isware Bhautad Bhakti Ahaituki. Devotees are always on the positive platform in contrast to the Mayavadis who want to make everything impersonal or void. One cannot remain void. Sunyavadi. Rather, one must possess something. Therefore, the devotees on the positive side wants to possess something. That's the reason we will ask that I want to come back and do your devotional service. Therefore, the devotee on the positive side want to possess something, and this possession is very nicely described by Prahlad Maharaj, who says, if I must take some benediction from you, Lord, I pray that within the core of my heart there must be no material desire. The desire to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not at all material. So we want to serve Krishna, which is not material. That's why Prahlad Maharaj is saying that I do not want any. Now, because he's our Nrsingadev is trying to give him something, right? And then he said that if you are giving me something, I do not want anything material. No material desire in mind, just pure heart. And that's what we have to learn from Prahlad Maharaj, that when we pray to Krishna or when we pray to his devotee, we should be praying that I don't want anything, all I want to do is Mama Janmani Janmani Bhavta Bhakti Ahaitu Kitvai. I just want to serve you, Why? Because all these material possessions, they are not going to go with us. As soon as you change the body, it's going to go, right? It's all temporary. And then when we ask the Krishna and when we ask Prabhupada to give no material desire, that means that we are trying to become pure and we are asking the pure thing, Because as soon as the material desire comes in our heart, then we cannot serve Krishna because we keep on asking, because there is a very, we may not say loudly to Krishna that give me this, but our mind, working there, I wish I would have this. I wish I would have this. I wish I would have these comforts. I wish, like that. Keep on desiring. And then mind and intelligence get involved into this material thing. And at the end, that's what you would remember. Again, that I wish I would have this. That's why you gradually purify. And Harinam is the highest, it has been. That's the first of Cheto Darpan Marjanam Pavamahata Vagni Nirvan. Sreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavatu Jivanam. Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sanketanam. Right? So this is the first law. That's why he says that we have to clean up and make the pure heart. Why? Then Krishna can come in your heart, pure heart. He's there, but he's not very active because the heart is really, really stone-like and so much dirt inside. So then he he starts revealing you gradually, and it becomes really nice, blissful situation for you, and that's why. So these are the two slokas. One is Prahlad Maharaj is saying that I am eternally your servant, and you are eternally my master, and I want to. That there is no reason, he says, that we should think differently or other than master and servant, So natural master, natural servant, that one point. And the second point here is that if you ever give me anything, you can just give me the pure, no material desire in my heart. Those are the two things we should be wishing for from these two prayers Prahlad Maharaj is doing. So thank you very much. If you have any question or comment, I can take that. And then we'll come back tomorrow again. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I have a comment.
Yes.
Thank you for the class.
Yes.
There was a couple of points I liked a lot. The first one, you said that people just have a tendency to serve. So if you have intelligence, you should say, what do you got? What's the real best benefit for service? That's to Krishna. Your dog, you can't help you when you die. Dog's very nice. Not that we should be mean to anyone, but the best service is always to Krishna. You get the best reward. And the other point was that we shouldn't come one day and pray to be a devotee, and the next day pray for some material thing.
Yeah.
So the outside should match the inside. So that's a little difficult, but that's sort of the goal we're working on.
Yes.